Hi Nerdfighteria. It's August 4th, 2021. I hope you're doing very well today. As many of you may know, I am a classical musician, and I love classical music. I think it's the best thing since, well, before sliced bread, actually. And I figured that since my camera keeps corrupting my footage and I can't get the thing to work properly and whatever, I'm just gonna redo my topic right off the cuff and choose a topic I'd initially planned for before. So, today, in a very short amount of time, I'm going to review Beethoven's First Symphony in C Major, Opus 21. This symphony was premiered in 1800 and comes to us in 4 parts. 4 movements, if you will. The first movement starts off with a slow introduction, followed by a fairly brisk main section. Here you see Beethoven's mastery of the classical period as pioneered by Franz Joseph Haydn and mastered before him by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And you really just get an idea for Beethoven's style of orchestration, which can be very unusual, just very kind of loud and then soft and loud and then soft, without really changing key a lot of the time. You're really in C major for a lot of this. He then transitions into G major, as would be expected, has his little second theme, a little closing theme, and it all goes back. We repeat the main fast section. You get the development, and the development of this first movement is really impressive for that period. It's a lot more involved with all the different instruments. The winds are doing their own thing, they're not tied to the string section. What I just described, by the way, is just sonata form. If you don't know what that is, there's a lot of videos. I'll put a couple links in the doobly-doo for what sonata form is. Now, you get to the second movement, and it starts off with just strings, and you think, oh, maybe this is another one of those slow movements that doesn't use any winds. But they come in, the winds come in, and you get a really charming, tender, slow movement. One of my favorite movements. I get it stuck in my head a lot. Then you get to the third movement, which is curiously marked Menuetto Allegro molto e vivace, which means minuet, which is a slow dance, marked very fast and lively. So Beethoven has written Menuetto on the top of the score, but he's really created what is now known as a scherzo, which is not a word that really existed yet. By the way, I've never actually been able to play this symphony with an orchestra. I really hope I get the chance one day. And then finally you get to the big fourth movement. And if you're ever curious as to how sonata form works, this is the movement I recommend anyone listen to, because you really hear it very clearly in this particular movement. Curiously, for a finale, he starts off with another slow introduction. Haydn and Mozart would have never done that, but he did, because he was different. So you've got 3. You've got the first movement in C major, the second one in F major, the third, again in C major, but that's in ternary form, so A, B, A, typical for a minuet or scherzo. Then you get the fourth movement, which is fast finale in sonata form again, and so you get the exact same kind of trajectory, starting in C major fast, keeping the tempo going, moving into G major, coming back and repeat, play the whole thing again, up until that repeat sign, then you get the development, and then he brings us back into C major after quite a bit of tumult, as is expected in a piece like that, and then he brings us all the way back home, back to C major. For a first symphony, I think Beethoven's first is very impressive and really shows what's to come, while also encapsulating what came before it. I gave Beethoven's First Symphony 4 out of 5 stars. If you want to hear it, links are in the doobly-doo. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Pizzamas in July or August now, I guess. And DFTBA.